In this exercise, I'm going to attempt to make a collage, and the collage will be based a little bit on the work of Pete Monaghan, who we were looking at a few days ago. For this exercise, you will need a drawing. Here's a drawing that I did a few minutes ago, which is the back of my house. It's seen from the end of the garden, and you can see it's a terrace house. There's my son's bedroom, there's my other son's bedroom, there's the dining room, and there's the extension, my neighbour's window, my other neighbour's window, and in front of us is a tree. The whole garden's in the shadow of a big bay tree, and there's some bamboo. There's a bamboo hedge here, and there's some hedge here as well, and a mahonia bush. Now, I don't want this to be over detailed, and I'm thinking about Pete Monaghan really and his style. So what do we need? Well, we need something to stick stuff down. This is some PVA glue, which I bought from Sainsbury's this morning. I could have used Pritt stick, but I think I'll go with the PVA for now. The drawing, by the way, took about 5 minutes, and I used charcoal, this piece of charcoal here. It's not the best drawing in the world, but it might be adequate. In an ideal world, I'd be using tracing paper as well, but I have this idea of sticking down some ripped up bits of white paper, and also I have to hand other things to provide texture. Here's a Sunday supplement, so I'm going to rip up this, and also I might use this envelope here. Now I'm going to start sticking stuff down in a minute, and so the whole video won't be in real time because it will take too long. So I'll start sticking down some things, and then I'll turn off the camera and the microphone, then do a bit more, then a bit more, and so on, and build it up. My intention in the end is to, whatever I stick down, is to draw and paint over it, just like Pete Monaghan has done. So first thing is, I'm going to start building the collage. So looking through the magazine, there are some colours I could use, like purple, for instance. However, that's not very good for me because I don't want purple. But this might be good. These kind of green, what's this, pineapple and, I don't know, spring onion and something else. And I could use that for green areas, especially for the hedge. And this is good for the hedge as well. And also the pineapple there, good for the bay tree. So I could use these bits. I can rip those things out. If I wanted some wood somewhere, then wood's good. Ideally, I'd find some brick or something like that. But remember, I'm not trying to rebuild a realistic photograph. I'm just going to take whatever I have to hand. Nice areas of grey here. Lots of green, food. There are some things in here I could use. But I'm not trying to make a realistic photograph. I'm just ripping out bits. So the first thing I'm going to do then is to get some greenery in there. So I quite liked the pineapple. So I'm going to just, there's the pineapple, I'm going to rip it out. It's the leaf area that I want really. And I'm just going to very, very roughly, I'm going to start using scissors or anything like that. So there we are, there's a bit of greenery. Maybe I'll rip that up a bit more. And then out of camera, I'm just going to put some PVA glue on it and stick it down and basically start building up the area with the bay tree and so on. Here's another bit that I found earlier on. I think it's avocado and something. So it's all nice and green. I'm not thinking about it too much, really. That will do for now. Now, ultimately, I don't want to make it too literal. So, just for the hell of it, you may recall that Pete Monaghan gets bits of text and maps in there and all sorts of things. So it'd be quite nice to use text, I think. Bits of magazine. So you can see them just ripping bits out. And I'm using PVA glue. Now this is for a demonstration, so the glue that's being applied is not very thick. I mean, you might want to apply thicker glue than I'm done. than I'm doing. Now in the end I'm just going to build this up as a sort of texture and then start ultimately painting over it. So I think I'll just do a couple bits more. I hope this encourages you to do something. It shouldn't be... My problem was that I started drawing and I made the drawings over-detailed. And they were far too detailed. I was drawing a statue of Buddha, and that would have been very difficult to do. But these solid areas of, well, the house, the roof, and the garden shouldn't be too hard. I also have in front of me on screen, though you can't see this, one of Pete Monaghan's pieces of work, and I can see that he hasn't really used, you know, bits of realistic stuff. He just stuck lots of stuff down, but my intention is to paint over it. He uses lots of white and he layers up paper, so I'm going to get some white paper and I'm going to start layering up some strips. So let's put that there, like that. Okay, now my intention in the end is to build this up. In fact, he uses quite a lot of white. So rather than using too many photographs, I'm going to start using more ripped white areas to build up. I'm also looking at his picture in front of me. Now remember, whatever I do, I can actually paint over things and redraw this in charcoal or paint later on. So for instance, there I've gone over the roof. I can just, you know, later on I could paint that in or draw that in. So it doesn't really matter that I've gone over it, or draw over it when it's dry, if you get my drift. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to turn off the camera, and then when you see this a bit later on, there'll be more things stuck on it. Okay, I'm going to stop right now. So look out for part 2. Thanks.